Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
We have breaking news. After nearly a year of investigations, the police have just officially recommended that Prime Minister Netanyahu be criminally indicted for corruption on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Israel's Attorney General will now review all of the police's evidence and decide whether or not to file charges against Netanyahu. Mere minutes before the police's bombshell report went public, the Prime Minister addressed the nation in a live broadcast from his home, again denying that he'd done anything wrong. These police findings, however, come as the worst-case scenario for Netanyahu because he's being accused of corruption in not one but both of the probes he's under investigation for. The first alleges that he accepted illicit gifts from billionaire friends, whom the police also say should be indicted for bribing a government official. And the second accuses him of arranging favorable newspaper coverage for himself in exchange for agreeing to quash the paper's rival publication. Netanyahu has stressed that not all recommendations actually result in criminal charges. But his former finance minister, Yesh Atid party leader Yair Lapid, has just testified against him as a witness to alleged corruption. And that may not bode well. Attorney General Avichai Mendelblit will now spend the next weeks or possibly months reviewing all of the evidence. It's now up to him whether or not Netanyahu will stand trial. Israel's northern border has seemed to quiet down over the last 2 days, but now the Syrian government has just issued a major threat to Israel. Syria's deputy foreign minister is warning that if Israel attacks Syria again, the Jewish state will face, quote, more surprises. The threatening rhetoric comes mere days after Syrian anti-aircraft fire downed an Israeli F-16 jet. The jet was returning from bombing Iranian-backed targets in Syria after an Iranian drone flown from Syria entered Israeli territory illegally. The IDF responded to the breach of Israeli sovereignty by attacking several targets in Syria, and reports have suggested that Israel has taken out nearly 50% of Syria's air defense capabilities. Israeli security chiefs have continued to publicly state that air raids in Syria will continue as long as Iran continues to entrench itself near Israel's northern border and transfer weapons to Hezbollah. Israel has also been constructing a security fence on the border of Lebanon to protect itself, one which Lebanon claims is breaching Lebanese sovereignty. But it looks like a UN spokesperson in Lebanon has just told Turkish TV that Israel is not committing any violation by constructing the barrier. The new border is scheduled to be built by the end of 2018 to replace an older version. 2 Israeli soldiers have been killed following a fatal traffic accident on Tuesday afternoon. A truck hit 3 military vehicles on Israel's central highway, Route 6, injuring 10 and then killing the 2 IDF soldiers. The truck driver has been identified as a resident of East Jerusalem, and he is believed to have lost control of the vehicle and then veered accidentally into the convoy of off-road army vehicles. The soldiers were on their way to a southern base after having completed training exercises in the north. The IDF and police will continue to investigate the circumstances of this incident. Dozens of young religious women from across the country are protesting against the education ministry, which they claim is pressuring them to join the Israeli military. The number of young religious women that have entered the IDF has risen exponentially in recent years, and now the education ministry has allegedly set out a proposal to continue that trend by funding groups that guide religious girls who want to join the military service instead of performing national service. A campaign has been organized by the conservative religious organization Chotman, photographing young women holding handwritten messages that ask for the government to stay out of their education. In Israel, high school graduates who show that they are religiously observant can opt to perform 1 or 2 years of national service instead of serving in the IDF. Many high-profile religious leaders have criticized young women who decide to enter the army. Police have just uncovered 200,000 shekels worth of antiquities in the home of a Palestinian man. The IDF and Israeli police conducted a joint search in the private home in the Palestinian village of Rehan, uncovering valuable ancient millstones. The findings are estimated to be worth just over $56,000, according to a police statement. The suspect claims that he found the millstones himself, but the investigation into how they ended up in his home is still ongoing. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. At the end of January, a man was found to be in possession of 150 Byzantine-era coins. He had been discovered using a metal detector to search for the goods at the Haluza UNESCO World Heritage Site in southern Israel.
That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchek, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.